Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. This is our great opportunity to have Michael Miller, one of the dynamic politicians in New York. He has serving his district 38 since 2009, and he is known as a great community leader who is great enthusiasm and honesty, dedication towards his community. That's why he has re-elected time and again. Welcome to our show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's really great pleasure to have your time and your opinion. Since 2009, and it's almost 9.5 years that you are serving the community. What are the major achievements of your tenure?
So when I came into this this job, I just wanted to help people.
Yeah.
Okay, that was my main focus, and we've done that. We've done that since I came in. We made sure that constituent services are the utmost importance.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone's issue that comes in and has a problem, we make sure that we work on it to the best of our ability. And we try very hard to accommodate everyone and take care of the needs that they have.
Mm-hmm.
We've done many things over the years. When we first came in, there was an earthquake in Haiti. And a lady from up the block called up. She wanted help in getting her mother's body out of Haiti before it disappeared, before it was buried in a mass grave. And having just come in, it's like, well, what do we do, right? Mm-hmm. But a couple of days later, we had her body back, so she get the proper burial and make the family feel secure that they have their mother's body. That was a big accomplishment. Having just come in and not really having done anything, to be able to get that done was a big accomplishment. Getting traffic lights put in, getting turn signals, stop signs, speed bumps, those are all big accomplishments because it helps the local community. It helps people locally, and that's what we want to try and do.
Yeah, Mike, just explain me regarding your interest in the politics, because so far as I'm concerned, before joining the politics, you were one of humble social community leader. You work for adult, you work for ill people, you work for the immigrants, and you work for minorities community. Why you feel that you had to join the politics?
So I've never, growing up, I never did politics, right?
Yeah.
I volunteered in my community, right? We volunteered with the Youth Council, Greater Ridgewood Youth Council, helping children, tutoring after school, help, recreation. I helped the agency grow. It was a small agency, $200,000 budget. When I left to do this, they were at $5.5 million. So it was a big growth, after school programs, community centers, it took a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I was there 25 years before they got their first community center.
Right.
It takes a long time.
Yeah.
But you work on that. The civilian patrol, right?
Mm-hmm.
G-Cop and 104 Cop. 20 years patrolling the streets at night to make sure that everyone is safe. You're home sleeping, we're patrolling the streets. Glendale Kiwanis, I'm a lifetime member of Kiwanis.
Mm-hmm.
It's an organization where we raise money and we give it back to the community.
Yeah.
You send children to camp in the summer that can't go to camp.
Yeah.
Those are all the things you do in the community that get you to this point.
That's great.
And so when there was an opening,
Yeah.
the community leaders in the community came to me and said, look, we want you to run.
What was the major turning point that what I wanted to know, that you stand for the Assemblyman?
I decided to run because, 3 major community leaders came to me and said, we want you to do this. You could be the Assemblyman, and all the things you've done, this is gonna give you more power to be better and to get more work done. And so that's why I decided to run.
Yeah, just talk about the recent activities that you have done in Albania as well. This your district 38 is known as the district of immigrants. Mm-hmm. Lots of community from around the corner of the world is residing here. and you have proposed a bill, a resolution to build a community center in your district.
So it's not a proposal or resolution. We requested funding.
Requested funding. Yeah.
So, and that's the first step,
Yeah.
right? The first step is to request funding,
Mhm.
and then we have to, every time we meet, negotiate how we're going to get this money. As I mentioned to some of the leaders of your community, it's going to take 4 or 5 years before we get to that point.
You're right.
But you have to start somewhere, and you have to fight for it now. And
What
we started the
motivated you
process.
to do that?
So in meeting a lot of the Nepalese people and meeting the group,
Yes.
from Ridgewood, their need for a community center,
Yeah.
for me, it was very important to try and help out and make that happen.
And regarding Nepalese community, like in Ridgewood and surrounding areas, there are huge Nepalese community are living. And I believe that you have really good tie-up with them and their leaders. What is your primary reading regarding Nepalese community, and what's your analysis regarding them?
So you learn in life and in business and in politics. You learn to read people. You learn to see what people are about. I've learned that you're good-hearted, good-natured people, and all you want to do is help. Okay, and when people want to help, we want to make sure we keep you and get you to help, because you want to do it. It's in your heart, right, to want to help better your community, better the community that you live in, better the groups that you belong to, and I saw that. Okay, and I met a lot of great people, and I want to make sure that we help them to be better, have a better standing in the community.
Yeah, as an assemblyman, do you have any specific strategy or programs regarding them?
So I introduced many bills over the years, okay, to help the South Asian community. A lot of them deal with translation. For example, we just introduced a bill to have DMV paperwork and applications in Nepali, right?
Great.
We've done it for Punjabi, we've done it for other languages that may not have it. We put in bills, so that hospital forms and stuff are in Punjabi,
Yeah.
okay?
Bengali as well.
Bengali. We
Yeah.
worked in the Muslim community,
Yeah.
to make sure halal food,
Yes.
is provided in schools. So these are all bills that are put in that we keep working on and getting, we try to get them to the point where we can get them approved.
Yeah.
It takes a long time because you have to get, 80 other people to agree with you.
Right.
And that's a big process.
Yeah, as you mentioned regarding the DMB in Nepalese language,
Right.
what is the progress regarding this? Having DMB
Well,
exam test in Nepali language.
So it was only put up to us a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
We introduced the bill, right? We had the bill written and what we wanted to say and what we want the end result to be, and we introduced the bill, and now it's a big push within the Nepali community and the assembly to get everybody to lobby their assembly person to make sure that they get on board and they sign on to the bill. So the more people we have signing on to the bill,
That's
the
right.
easier it is we can get it moving.
What should we do to get this happen?
Okay.
To get
So we discussed the other day getting the members of your community to write to their assembly person, speak to them, to write to the speaker, the man in charge of the assembly, to say, hey, this is an important bill. If he gets a great number of petitions, a great number of letters, then he says, well, maybe I need to look deeper into this, and we can get it.
Yeah, Assemblyman, regarding the DMV in Nepali language, DMV test
Yes.
exam in Nepali language, this is really important for Nepalese community because of their few access in English language and regarding other technical issues. So far as I'm concerned, last month when it was an inauguration ceremony of Himalayan Democratic Club in Ridgewood, this issue was revealed. Still the date, as you mentioned, that there are a lot of progress. So how long do we need to wait to make it happen?
Okay, so that's not something I can guess on. There's no specific time frame
Yeah.
that when you're in, when bills are introduced, how long it will take before they come to the floor.
Right.
Okay, it's a matter of getting support from the community and making leadership in the assembly know about it. So once we can get all that done, it helps the bill to move along.
Right.
So I've introduced bills that have been sitting there because there's no other interest beside, the group or the person that I introduced it for. Okay, so in this case, we want everyone to be to want to get the bill passed. So that's why we need the community involvement.
Right. And regarding the minorities community from South Asia, not only Nepalese, other as well, do you have any specific plan to enhance their socio-economic life, especially to the economic achievements?
So we've done a tremendous, we've done a lot of work with working with people that work with those with developmental disabilities, right? Making sure they have a prevailing wage and earn a prevailing wage when they're helping them. We've done a lot with the minimum wage, right? So a lot of times people make a minimum wage. We've worked to raise that to $15 an hour, which is a good number, so we try to put things in place when people come to us and say, hey, I need help with this. We try to work out a plan to do that. So it's not something that will be specific for specific people.
Yeah.
We work for all people.
You have the policy.
We work for all people.
Yeah, and what about the small business? That
Okay.
if someone want to grow in a small business, that any plan or policy does the Assemblyman have?
So we've done a lot in the Assembly for small businesses. We've given tax credits, okay, if you hire a veteran. We've given tax credits so that you can hire more people,
Right.
okay? In certain areas, we've given a break for that minimum wage, okay, so that it may not have to be as high, okay, if it
Right.
means that you can hire more people.
Right.
So we've done economic things in different areas, okay, and we work to figure out what's best for a different
I understand.
community.
I understand. Assemblyman, yesterday I had an interview with District 35th Assemblyman, Mr. Alri, and he's also a member of Voices and Means Committee in Assembly. So at the same time, we discussed regarding the wage and the living standard and the expenses in the New York. As you mentioned that it's $15 and something like that, but so far as I'm concerned and more economics and analysis, always raise the voices that this wages system and the rate is not enough to survive in New York, a city which is most expensive around the world. So what's your reading and what the Assembly is doing regarding this problem of the people living here?
In the Assembly, things that we have done,
Yeah.
I mentioned the minimum wage rate.
Yeah.
That's a big deal here in this area.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
So there are a lot of immigrants that come in, can't get those high-paying jobs, right? They get a job in a restaurant, they get a job in a
Subway,
business,
maybe,
in a hair
Store,
place, whatever it is,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
To be able to raise that wage, $3-4 an hour, that's a big deal. To get them an extra $100-150 a week, that is a big deal. On the same note, we work on getting housing, right?
Yeah.
So in all of the buildings that go up, we make sure there's affordable housing. Okay, affordable so that people who don't make much money can afford to rent an apartment.
Right.
Okay, so there are things in a lot of different ways. So.
Yeah, regarding political involvement of the minorities community, especially South Asian community and Nepali as well, do you have any specific strategy to get them involved in the politics? Like the people from South Asia, they have few access in the political system in the United States.
So you have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so so the Nepal community in Ridgewood. Okay.
Yeah.
We have a club,
Yeah.
right? A Democratic club,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
My plan is there are ways to get involved, right? There are
Yeah.
ways to get elected. And one of them is to be on county committee, right? County committee determines, who the district leaders are going to be. If there's an opening, they determine who the district leader is going to be.
Right.
So we want everyone that lives in the election districts in my area
Right.
to get involved in county committee.
Mm.
Okay, we get you on county committee. It's an elected position, right?
Right.
And you help shape the politics and who represents you and the things that you need in your community.
Right.
And that's how you get involved. From there, it's district leader, it's state committeemen, it's other judicial delegates. There are other things that you can get involved in the political side to elevate your position in
I
politics.
understand, Assemblyman.
You
but-
can't come in
Yeah.
and be president
I
in 2 days.
understand.
There's
Yeah.
a time frame
Yeah,
that
it's
you
a long
you
process.
have to
I
take.
understand, but
But the biggest part
mm,
is to want to be involved,
yeah.
and you've already done that.
I understand. Due to the great initiation of Nepalese community leader like Mohan Gyamwali, Tara Nirola, and something like that figure, they have started their club. This is the beginning of political system they are trying to involve in the United
So-
States. But
The Democratic Club,
yeah,
you meet to foster democratic values
mm,
in your community,
I understand.
and you align yourself with people who are supportive of you, that can help get that recognition,
Mm.
that position, and the help that your community needs. You come in, we started the club,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
You had about 50 people at the first meeting.
Mm,
The idea is to build on that. The idea is to get people involved. The idea is to get people in the political system, right? There are things to do, right? Getting signatures. That's an exciting thing to do. You get to go out, you knock on doors, you meet other people.
Right.
That's a big deal. That's helps, right? It helps the elected officials. It helps the people that we want to get on county committee, right? Because their name may be on the ballot as well, and they help to get signatures for that.
Right.
It's a process, right?
I
You have to
understand.
enjoy it.
What I exactly wanted to mention here is like Mohan Gyamwali example. When he was appointed as a community board advisor, that was a huge encouraging news for the community.
That's correct.
That's why maybe the community is expecting more that kinds of activities.
So on community board, I don't control the community board. That's done by the city council.
Oh, yeah.
So your city council person would determine who gets on and who's going to be a member of the community board,
Right.
and also the borough president, okay? They
Yeah.
determine it. I can advocate for someone, so when Mohan expressed an interest, I went to Elizabeth Crowley. Hey, Mohan, how about we get him on the community board? And then she signed off on him becoming a member,
Right.
okay? So it's a process, right?
Right.
But that's not something I control.
As in senior politicians, you have a long term of experiences and you have good reading regarding Nepalese community. How much you are aware about Nepal?
Not much. I'm
Not
aware
much,
of the
yeah.
people that here
Yeah.
and what they go through here,
Yeah.
and what we need to do to get them involved the way they want to be involved.
Right. And if you want me to describe a little bit in some sentences, that we are from a big transition, political transition since 10 years. Before that, we had a big insurgency since 10 years more. And now, fortunately, we have settled the system because of the election that happens in December of 2017. I think our political system is new and it's just planted, but it's growing really nicely. So, politicians like you who grew up and doing something great in the United States, the country which believe in democracy, press freedom, and pursuit of happiness. Do you have any prescription to the country like Nepal, who is growing the very newly formed federal democratic republic? Do you like to make any suggestions?
The only thing I would suggest to people is to be honest, be truthful, and be yourself. Okay? And if you go into this business, only wanting to help people, then you'll be very successful.
Yeah.
So I suggest to the people there,
Yeah.
worry about the people that you're looking to help, not yourself, and not to better yourself.
Great.
Better the people of your
Great.
community and your area.
How the democracy like Nepal, a new democracy, can be strengthened?
They have to strengthen themselves. And the idea is to make sure that the people that are representing regular people find the resources necessary to give them a great life.
Yeah.
And if you can give them a great life,
Right.
then you become well respected within the national world community.
What happens if Nepal requests you to join hands?
Request me?
Yeah, to join Nepal government requests you to join hands regarding some exchange.
I'll be glad to help anybody that I can help,
Yeah.
as long as I can do it here.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, flying to Nepal may not be my thing, but if you need help here, I'll be glad to help them from this position, you know, in the state of New York.
I understand.
Okay, I'm not a federal representative.
No.
I can't overstep my boundaries. Okay,
Yeah.
and impose
No,
myself on the federal. That would be a federal representative that would have to go there and help in politics in that respect.
Right.
Okay.
But we do have district as well. That's why I'm asking
Yeah.
you, because
If
it
people
may be
want
district to
to,
district,
you know,
people
go
to
over on
people
how we
relation.
help and work on regular districts, okay,
Right,
regular
right,
communities,
right.
I would be glad to help anybody.
That's
But I can't overstep my bounds and take on federal political issues with other countries. That's not my role.
What is your proper message to the South Asian community?
We started about 8.5 years ago.
Right.
The only thing I wanted to do was to help people, okay? And so as I go out into my community, you know, my promise and my issue to them was to get everybody involved, okay? And we've done that, right? So we've, over the years, worked with the Latino community, okay?
Yeah.
You know, my promise was to get them involved in the political system, okay? And so as positions opened up, I asked people to take a lead role, become a district leader, become a state committeeman,
Right.
you know, to get them to the next level. In the Indian community, right, the Sikh community, I have a great relationship, okay, because I don't go in asking for anything. I go in asking, how can I help you?
Right.
Okay, and so we got them different positions, right? There are Sikhs in the Democratic Organization of Queens County that are district leaders,
Right,
okay?
right.
So those are important steps, you know?
Right.
And so the next step, you know, for us in the Nepali community is to get to that point.
That's
But it doesn't happen in an instant,
Yeah, it takes time. I
okay?
understand.
So we have to, you know, you have to take baby steps, right? The
Right.
first thing is getting people on county committee,
Right.
okay? And if we can identify those people, that's the first step.
Yeah, Mike, I have attended many programs that you hosted, like town hall and something others, and I have heard your speech very deeply. You are a really excellent leader. What is your future plan and what's your destination in the politics?
My destination is to be the greatest New York State Assemblyman the 38th District has ever had.
Yeah.
That's my goal. I'm happy being the Assemblyman. I'm happy working locally with people.
Yeah.
That's my goal, okay? I don't want to be President of the United States, okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to be Mayor of the City of New York.
Yeah.
The higher you get, the further away it takes you from the people.
Right.
And I want to be with the people.
Yes. Thank you very much for your
I
time and
appreciate it.
opinion.
Thank you very much.
Very much.
Okay.